Hey everybody, Garcia here. Today we're taking a look at an escape room in a box type game. This is Break In Area 51. In this video, I'll be avoiding giving you spoilers, okay? So you don't really have to worry about that. Anything I show you is either on the back of the box or seen as soon as you take off this lid, okay? And it shows us on the back of the box here that it even tells you, you can see that right there on the back, that the idea here is that this is basically a thing that once you get past a level, you then fold open the tabs on the sides and the thing opens up. It kind of blooms like a flower, right? That's the idea. We're not even going to go into, this. We're not going to get that far, okay? So, again, escape room in a box, so you'll be solving puzzles, looking at this thing, picking it up and looking around it and trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing, and then ultimately trying to win the whole thing. And the way you do that is, again, the setup here, the story is you're an alien and you are trying to break into Area 51 to rescue your ship, and I guess get out of there, okay? If you've played any escape room style games, you sort of understand how they work. You are given some information and you try to solve that and then get deeper into the story. And this is basically that, with a few changes that I'll talk about on the other side. So let's go ahead and go to the table. Let me show you a little bit of what this looks like, and I'll see you on the other side. So here we've got the box. As you can see, the lid, and then on the sides, not really any info that you would need. And on the back, you'll see then the main gimmick in the game. Well, they give you a little setup there, story about you being an alien, needing your ship back, rescuing your ship. And then over here, they give you a general idea of how this all functions. The idea that it is basically boxes within boxes, okay? And you fold them out. So I'm going to show you just the top layer of this. And even then, I'm not going to show you any cards or anything. So this is going to be, you have to cut the tape all around it. That comes out there. You have a little rules breakdown and then a stack of cards. This actually comes in 2 stacks within the lid, taped to the inside of the lid. You can see the remnants there of the tape. And then a few different pieces for puzzle solving, and then one to help you with hints. We're not going to take a look at really any of that. And then in here, a big part of the game then is looking all around the game and the lid as well. And then eventually you'll make your way inside of this, open up these sides, fold this over, okay, and sort of flop it open. So the solving sort of mechanism in the game where you check your answers to the puzzles are these little slots here, and then you stick a little cardboard strip, and through the window you should see a symbol. If it's the right one, you go read that card. Now, if it's the wrong one, somehow you messed it up and it gives you a different symbol, you will stumble onto a different card. You'll just find a different, you'll find something out of order. And that can happen if you're not really careful lining it up or if the answer was simply wrong, okay? So that's how that works. It's all based on colors and symbols and numbers. The numbers usually denote where you stick the little strip. Like this, it says 1 right there, for example, and this one says 2. And then, of course, colors. You'll see colors in different places. And then these symbolic squares that are going to be information as well. So that's how some of the puzzles in this are going to work out. So there you go. I just wanted you to kind of have a look at some of the artwork, the construction of this thing. Again, these are these plastic little tabs are meant for you to like flop this open, and sometimes you gotta give it a pretty good snap there, and then you push it all back if you want to reset it. So this is kind of feels like photo paper a little bit, maybe a little bit thicker than that, but there you go. That's what that's like. So I think that's good. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, so let me go back up top and tell you what I thought of this. So overall, Area 51, a break-in here, turned out to be one of the worst escape room games that I've played. Now, I haven't played that many. I don't pretend that I'm a connoisseur of that game style, but I've played a bunch of different systems of these, okay? And this is, of all the ones I've played, definitely the worst. So let me break that down, okay? Let me tell you what I thought of it and why I feel that way. So, I'm just going to go right down the list of, and tell you what I think. So the theme, okay, it's very cartoony. It's, they treat it in a very tongue-in-cheek kind of way, which is fine. I get that. This isn't meant to be serious. It's kind of a family game. That's the idea. Also, though, it's silly and there's goofy puns and all that stuff. And also, there's like a mutilated human body in one of the illustrations, which is kind of weird. So, I don't know. Tonally, it seems a little iffy. It has a real made by committee kind of feel to it in many ways, okay? And that makes it feel like it's lacking a soul in many ways. The aesthetics, I think, are bad. I don't like the artwork, but besides that, one of the big gimmicks is this blooming idea, of folding down the sides and getting in deeper, but that doesn't add anything to the game. And also the 3D aspect, this idea of picking this thing up and looking around it and then on top and then, looking for things, just doesn't add anything. It's very confusingly done. It is, it screams, solution looking for a problem. It's just not something that enhances the game or the genre in any way, I thought. The replay value. Well, nothing's destroyed, technically speaking, okay? There is one card you could write on, and I just chose not to. And they say use a pencil or an erasable pen. If you do that, you mark the card, okay? So, but technically, nothing is destroyed. You can pack this all up again and pass it along. So there is that. As far as replay value goes, though, this is also extremely linear, okay? I know many escape room games are fairly linear. You sort of have to solve one puzzle to solve another one to solve another one. But many of them are not, okay? For example, Deckscape here, which is, basically a big deck of cards. Much of the time, they are not linear. And so you can, at some point you reach in the store, you can break up the deck of cards and you can have one player working on one puzzle over there and I can be working on a different puzzle. And then if you get stuck, you kind of glance over at them and, no, I don't know what's going on over there, okay? So everybody feels like they're involved. In this one, you are definitely, up to 6 players, mind you, working on the same puzzle. And usually it's around something very small. So you'd have to be really crowded. I mean, like heads touching over the board, basically, for this to really be a game that you should play with more than one player. I would say 1 or 2. If you want to play this, 1 or 2. That's it. So the replay value is, again, you don't destroy it, but also it doesn't feel very just different, I guess. It isn't something you want to keep coming back to, and the player count makes no sense. Okay, game arc. I think it's pretty bad. It does get better from the beginning, okay? But the start is the game, the system just has terrible guidance. They have, near the beginning, there's a card you read that tells you, go do this. And then you read that thing. And then at the bottom of that thing, it says, okay, go back to the card you came from. Cool. That's the only time they did it. After that, then it was, I played this 2-player, okay? It was never quite clear when you should bounce back to that card. And so you always feel lost. Now I understand that you're puzzle solving. I don't think the rules is what people meant when they made escape rooms, okay? I'm supposed to understand the rules. I'm supposed to be breaking my head on puzzles. This one, you are going to spend half your energy, if not more, just trying to understand what they want. Wait, I'm lost. What should I read? I go back to this card. Okay, move on to this step. Am I ready for that? No, I'm not. Wait, why don't things have tags that send you back. If the game is perfectly linear, then let me know when I should be going back to this sort of, storytelling part, okay? Also, this is weird. The game lists on the cover here, ages 12 and up, fine. Difficulty 3 out of 4, fine. 2+ hours? There is no way this is 2+ hours. This is not that big. Again, it might take you that long because you don't know what's going on or what you should be doing because the rules aren't very good. But the puzzle content in here, and I'll get to that, is not 2 hours worth of content, okay? Ease of play, not good. Again, like I said, it's completely linear. It's terrible, ineffective, confusing hand-holding. They could have just numbered the puzzles, tell me when to jump back to a card, all of that stuff. Tactics, luck, strategy. This box has 9 puzzles in it, okay? There are 9 in here. Of those 9, 2 are the same. In fact, they're back-to-back. I mean, they're the same kind of puzzle, and they are the same puzzle. You figured one out, and you figure out the other one, okay? So there's really 8. 1 is really painfully obvious. 2 of them, near the beginning, unfortunately, are terribly explained. You are giving the most, the vaguest of senses as to what you should be doing. So that leaves 5 different, decipherable puzzles. Some of those are pretty good. Some of them are neat. But that's 5 puzzles. Really, I mean, that you are going to understand and go, okay, let me figure this out. Let me write this down, or let me look at this thing in this way or that, right? That's what you're doing. This lists for $20, by the way. This box here. It's a big box, and there are, again, like I said, 5 distinct, understandable puzzles. But really, if you want to count everything and be complete about it, there are 9. There are 9 puzzles in here. And then you've got, again, $20. Then you've got this that has at least 3 times as many puzzles. Clue hint is very simple. You flip over the card and figure out if you're right or wrong. All of that. This is 15. We've got Unlock. Much better. App-assisted. Engaging. Interesting. Gives you many more puzzles. 15. There is, of course, a tremendously selling Exit the Game series. These are also 15. You do destroy these, so these are only a one-shot. But if you want something you can manipulate, then this is a good one for that, okay? And then you've got this, which is also what I would call a mass-market game, okay? It has that same really cheap cardboard on the outside, okay? That has, no finish on the one side. Very similar to this. Between these two, there is absolutely no comparison. You want to get this. If you want more escape room action, I would recommend against this one. Okay, this blows break-in away. So that's what I think of it. This is just not one I would recommend to anybody, especially with how many, escape room type card games and board games and, experiences are out there now. So, I just don't think this one's, I just don't think it's bringing it. I don't think it's interesting. The puzzles, like I said, of the 9, some are interesting, especially later in the game, okay? And for that, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10, because some of them I thought were okay. If somebody hands you this, and you don't have to pay for it. Somebody already did it. They give it to you. Sure. It'll take you 45 minutes, okay? It's not that long. There's only a few puzzles. Good luck figuring out how to begin. And then, again, the sort of hand-holding in it. The linear nature of it. But don't buy it. I just wouldn't recommend you go and drop money on this. It's just go get any of these other ones I showed you, okay? 3 out of 10. There you go. That is Break-In Area 51. My name is Z Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.